Hello there everyone, and welcome to episode 25 of Mods for Monday. We are just a quarter way through to reaching my goal of making 100 episodes of this. So I've only got 75 more to go. I have been thinking about doing some episodes specifically on mods for both the Xbox and the PlayStation, as I do get a lot of comments asking if some of the mods that I'm showing are on consoles. But what I might do is I might do a combination of a few episodes of both Xbox and PlayStation in one video, just showing off different mods that you can get for both consoles. But anyway, let's take a look at this week's list of mods for Skyrim. For the first mod of the episode, let's have a look at the Great Forest of Whiterun Hold. All this is going to do is take the plain that surrounds the great city of Whiterun and just place a massive forest all around it. While also, it's going to fill it with lots of wildlife, plenty of undergrowth. Oh, and I can't forget the amount of Spriggans that I ran into while running through this forest. I really do like the idea of the plain around Whiterun, as it's going to give Jarl Bolgraf quite the view across his land from Dragon's Reach. Definitely helps with any oncoming attacks from, depending on who you choose, either the Imperials or Stormcloaks. If any of those threats decide to come to Dragon's Reach, you're going to be able to see it, because there isn't really any forest around this plain. I, on the other hand, really do like this, as I think this area does need it, or at least it needs some of the area. It does need a dense forest, as it is quite empty in terms of the woodland, but I understand why there would be no woodland around. But with this mod, it really does make that first walk that you have to do from Riverwood to Whiterun, it just makes it really magical. Just watch out for the walls, of course. It's a neat little mod just to fill out some empty space. For mod number 2, this is a weapon mod called Black Sword. This is going to give us access to craft at the forge, both a new one-handed and a great sword for us to wield. Both of these weapons have been classed as ebony swords, so it does mean that you are going to need the ebony perk if you're going to want to create this. Or, if you do have the add menu mod installed, you can just use that to get the weapon instead. Thankfully, the character I use is high level, so I'm able to just craft this straight out of the forge. Things to note, that this weapon is fully upgradable, so you can make it even stronger than it already is. And I must say, the design on the hilt of the sword, it's pretty neat. I like the little tint of like yellowy gold that they put in there. It's definitely the sort of sword that's really worthy of a knight to wield, or even a dragonborn. But moving on from a weapon, let's take a look at a new armor set called Armor of the Golden Order, which is said to be inspired from Elden Ring. But I must say, why do I really see something like this appearing in Space Marine? All it needs to be is maybe a bit red or a bit blue. I really can see this appearing in their game. That's the first thing that screams out to me. To get this armor, all you need to do is just head over to Fort Dragonguard, and upon entry in the main hall, straight away you are going to see a bright glowing yellow light. You just need to head over to it and interact. It's like a chest. You're going to open it and the armor set will be in there. It's as simple as that. It's not complicated at all. On top of this really awesome looking armor, you are going to get a sword, but you're going to need to head to a completely different area to get this. Before leaving this room, make sure that you have already started the main quest for the Dragonguard. All you need is the first quest, because you need to have access to Dim Hollow Crypt, which, unless you've already started the campaign, you are not going to have full access to this area. Once you are in the crypt, you're going to need to head to the area where you very first find Serana, right by where that little stone coffin she is sleeping in. You are going to see the exact same yellow glowing light. Just go up to it, interact with it, sword is right in there. I absolutely love this sword. It reminds me of the Dawnbreaker. It's probably why I like it so much, because I absolutely love that weapon. I love that little magical glowing effect that it's got. I think it really does make this weapon pop. But overall, it's a brilliant armor set and a weapon. I really do like this armor, mainly because just how big and bulky it is, and it really does stand out. Up next, this mod is called Skyrim Trading Post Remastered, which this is going to add multiple trading posts all along the roads of Skyrim for us to do some buying and selling of our random junk. A mod like this is absolutely fantastic for the survival mode, as now there are up to 7 locations of trading posts that have been scattered around the world of Skyrim. So if you're out exploring, you don't always have to run back to like the main cities just to go and sell your stuff if you're running out of room, or you just need to get some supplies. If you are literally out in the middle of nowhere, you can now instead just head to one of these near trading posts, go there and sell stuff. But you need to remember this, there is some hired guards that roam this area, so if you do fancy trying to I don't know, maybe rob the place, at least be ready for a fight. So it's probably best not to do that. Just sell your stuff there. That's the easy option. But yeah, this is definitely one of those mods that is much needed for a survival playthrough. It would have been nice if in vanilla Skyrim there was like 2 or 3 of these sort of things just jotted around. For mod number 5, This is called Mage Clothing Expansion. Now, I for one think something like this should have been straight away a standard in this game, as I think they could have definitely done a lot more with the Mage's clothing, giving us a lot more options for both male and female, even for the different races as well. But this mod is going to add 18 new robes for both the male and female, and there is also an alternate darker color versions, kind of like how the vanilla ones are, but it will only add one extra hood though, mainly because this mod is just solely focused on adding more robes. All of these are very easy to be crafted, as you only have to go to the tanning rack, and they don't really require much to make them. There are quite a few of these robes in this selection that actually suit like the character pretty well. I really do hope in the next Elder Scrolls game they really do expand on the armor and like robes for mages, as I think in Skyrim they were lacking quite badly. I liked the idea of having different levels of the robes, obviously from like novice to master, but I think having a bit more of a unique look instead of really just changing the colors would really help to stand out, to make you more aware of who's a powerful mage and who's not. But yeah, I like this mod. It adds a much more selection for magic users to wear. So yeah, it's great. Definitely should download it if you are more of a magic user. Riverwood seems to be quite the place lately, as I am finding a lot of mods for this town, especially in the past few episodes. But this one is called Sleeping Giant Redesigned. First off to note, this is an exterior design only, and this is just going to add a balcony as an outside seating area, where the locals can now sit outside in the beautiful weather of Skyrim. Well, that's when it's not raining or snowing. At least that way they can now enjoy some food or a mead or two in the open air. This actually does fit quite well, as I was worried that it might start clipping with a lot of things or it just didn't blend in right, but the creator has actually done a really good job at sort of making a bit more lore friendly, or as if it was already there. It's really well done. Plus, it doesn't really affect the ground level at all. It's only the upper level, so you don't really notice any change or difference on the ground, which is great. When I saw more chicken variants from Mihal, I just had to download this mod. But once installed, and I actually had a look around at the different variants of chickens, and now I think it's actually quite an important mod to have for an immersive playthrough, as instead of just seeing the same chicken style walking around, there are different variations of them now, which it just makes it more better to look at. But it doesn't stop there, because there is a requirement that you need to download in order to have this mod, and this one is called Chicken Replacer, which it's going to add a much more higher quality vanilla chicken, which it's going to make them all look so much nicer. And with the chicken variants on top, they've all got a much more like HD design with multiple variations of them. Now all I need is just to find a giant chicken replacer mod, and I think I've hit the trifecta right there. Mod number 8 is called Akaviri Dragonguard armor, which I will first say, this armor set, it looks epic. I absolutely love the design of this armor. I have always been a huge fan of these style types of armors, mainly because of the amount of detail that they have on them. To get this, you cannot craft it. You are going to need to head over to the Skyhaven temple and go to the courtyard. So it does require you to have gone a certain distance in the main storyline. Basically, eventually, you are going to have to come to the Skyhaven temple. But once you have been here, you will have no issues. But once you are there and are in the courtyard, go to the very far end, and the armor set will be inside a chest, which will have all the armor and a cool looking weapon that really does go well with it. The armor set is heavy, and it is said that it is equivalent to dragon bone, so it's already quite strong with quite the physical resistance. As I said, love this armor style. All the games that I have played that has this style of armor, you will probably find that I am wearing it, because I absolutely love it. I would love to hear your opinions about this. For our last mod, let's take a look at Snazzy interiors. Winterhold, Birna's, Oddments. This mod is just an overhaul of this place, making it much more cozy and friendly when entering this general goods store in Winterhold. After traversing the harsh weathers to actually get here, it's quite nice to walk into this place. This has also added a second bedroom, so she no longer has to share her bed with her family, and now she is going to have her wares on display around the shop for us to browse. Just don't interact with them, as it will actually make you steal from her. I already made that mistake and found out that all of a sudden sudden I was swarmed with guards, no idea where they come from. But she doesn't get much in the way of customers, so stealing from her really wouldn't help out. But on the upper levels, there is now extra clutter, furniture, foliage, extra lighting, and other random decorations for an immersive look. I've actually been having a look at a few of these snazzy interiors, and I'm actually really impressed, as it does help places like this shop just look much better. There we have it. That was my 9 picks of mods to show you. Please do comment down below which was your favourite, and which of these mods would you actually use in your playthroughs? I'd love to know. Anyway, thanks for coming by and watching the video. If you like what you see, please leave a like, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you all next week for another episode of Mods for Monday. Goodbye.